Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about your draft proposal, which is coming due in just about a week. So let's first jump over to our course times. I'll just remind you as well that your personal video introduction is due today. Only about half of you have submitted something. I've replied at length to anyone who has submitted, and I encourage all of you to do so. I think it's very useful, and I do enjoy reading them, and it gives me some insight into what you want to do. So it's also a chance for you to talk about your draft proposal or talk about what you hope to get out of this course. So the draft proposal due in 1 week from today. So let's jump over to the On-Q course and have a look. So this project is really for you to think about some problem of practice. So think about it not so much as a problem, but some aspect of your practice that you would like to improve, whether it's a process, whether it's some aspect of your teaching, whatever that might be. Just think about your rationale. Why is this important to you? And then really think about, what kind of question could you create around that? Like, what is it that you actually want to learn or know about this problem or process that you have? So that's a start. And then as you're doing that, think about what kind of data sources you can collect as you go through this experience of trying to solve this problem. So sometimes, if you think about it a little bit in reverse, understanding what kind of data, what kind of artifacts or information you will produce can be very helpful in terms of helping you to visualize what exactly will I do anyways to answer my question. So think about how you're going to document this. That's very important because you'll need that documentation as evidence of what you've done and as evidence of how you're going to improve whatever process it is that you're working on. And think about it, I say the word improve, think about it as an appreciative inquiry. You can Google appreciative inquiry. There's a whole body of literature on that topic. And it really focuses on how do we make our situation better? How do we improve upon some aspect of our work? I hate to think of it as solving a problem. It's more about improving your practice. And I think just that mind shift is very helpful. So you have your data sources. Then when you think about the idea of creating a new process or solving your problem, although we really want to focus on an appreciative perspective, once you have that final product, what will it be and how will you present it? So for example, if your final product is some kind of new and improved process, one of you wrote to me about helping two aspects of the university speak to each other, two different departments. So maybe in that case, the final product is some kind of channel of communication or some kind of flow chart to clarify who is doing what at any given point in a particular process. If it's in your classroom, what kind of process are you putting in place to allow your students to, for example, approach a topic or an aspect of curriculum and think about, well, how will I approach and meet this curricular goal and how do I want to be assessed? How can you give that kind of control to your students? So then the final product might be some kind of description of how students can do that or some kind of reflection or flow chart of how a student or a colleague can work through a particular process. And so you have the solution or answer to your question, and then you need to present that. So one is the answer to your question. The other aspect of this is presenting the answer to your colleagues or to the beneficiaries of that. So how would you present this to your students? If it's some kind of task, some kind of way to make planning easier, for example, how will you then present that process to your colleagues? So is it part of a professional workshop or a PD session? Is it more of a formal report, an essay, an infographic poster? Some students in the past have actually come up with a research proposal. Some of you might be using this as a precursor to your, I think it's the 896 capstone project. So this could be a way for you to work through the proposal of your capstone project. So in my day job, I teach a capstone project for undergraduate students. So I have a lot of experience helping people put together a clear research proposal, especially an action research proposal. So I'm very happy to work with you on that aspect as well. So there's a range of ways you can do this. So just think about what is your question, your inquiry question? How are you going to document that inquiry question? And then how will you present your solution? Okay, thank you so much. Good luck.